Corruption is the reason why developmental efforts of government have not been largely successful. It is the duty of you and I to say no to corruption by joining the crusade. Hello and many thanks for joining us today on another edition of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari. And as part of our highlights today, Acting Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has disclosed that between January and December 2017, the Commission recovered assets worth about 500 billion naira in local and foreign currencies. Aisha Mohammed is also on the program with updates from our court segment. Hello Aisha, welcome back. How was your vacation?
Hi Aisha. It's good to see you too. My vacation was really nice and I enjoyed every bit of it. And to our numerous viewers, it is nice joining you again on the program. On the court update segment, the embattled former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Olusemetu's ill health stalls trial as he appears in court on a stretcher.
We begin today with report on proceedings as Acting Chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, presents the 2018 budget of the Commission before the House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes led by Honorable Kayode Oladele. Please stay tuned for details.
Acting Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Mustafa Magu, has disclosed that between January and December 2017, the Commission recovered assets worth about 500 billion naira in local and foreign currencies. Magu made this disclosure during the 2018 budget defense before the House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes at the National Assembly, Abuja. The EFCC boss enumerated the various efforts of the Commission so far on recovery of looted funds. Giving a breakdown of the figures, Magu stated that the Commission secured a final forfeiture of about 32 billion naira and another $5 million to the coffers of the federal government from a former Minister of Petroleum Resources. The monies, he said, included the recovery and final forfeiture of 449 million naira discovered at Legico Plaza, Victoria Island, Lagos, as well as the final forfeiture of more than $43 million discovered in an apartment in Ikoyi area of the state. Magu also revealed that the EFCC recovered more than 329 billion naira from petroleum marketers in Kano, while withholding tax of over 27 billion naira was retrieved from banks. Others include the Nigerian Ports Authority recovery of 6.6 million euro, 1.1 billion naira on behalf of Asset Management Company of Nigeria, AMCOM, and the recovery of subsidy fraud funds to the tune of over 4 billion naira. On 2017 budget performance, Magu noted that the major challenge in the implementation of capital estimates for that year was due to the late release of appropriated funds to the Commission. He said that the funds have not been released for the furnishing of the new head office building, which is expected to be handed over by the end of March 2018. He, however, sought the intervention of the lawmakers in effecting the timely release of the funds.
In the course of the outgoing financial year 2017, the Commission achieved commendable milestone in asset recovery effort.
Magu thereafter presented the agency 2018 budget, which is estimated at 21.69 billion naira, representing a 27% increase over and above the 17.2 billion naira of 2017. The aggregate increase, he said, is attributable to the upward review in personnel cost expenditure from 7.12 billion naira in 2017 to 11.01 billion naira in 2018. The anti-graft czar thanked the House for their support and contributions to the fight against corruption, urging them to do more. In his remark, the chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes, Honorable Kayode Oladile, commended the EFCC for its prudence and records of achievement and pledged the continuous support of the House for the Commission to take the anti-corruption war to the next level.
In terms of legislative intervention, we have also introduced several bills to strengthen the war against corruption, money laundering, and terrorist financing in Nigeria. These bills include the Whistleblowers Protection Bill, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Amendment Bill, the Process of Crime Bill, the Mutual Legal Assistance on Criminal Matters Bill, the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Bill, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Agency Bill, as well as the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Bill, all of which are currently at various stages of legislative work.
Also at the budget defense presentation was the director of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, Francis Osani. This is the first time that the NFIU will be presenting an independent budget estimate to the National Assembly after it had been granted autonomy in compliance with Recommendation 29 of the Financial Action Task Force. Osani gave a breakdown of 2.9 billion naira as the unit's 2018 budget proposal. The event was attended by top management staff of the EFCC and other staff of the Commission.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Welcome back. From that report, we'll move to our court update segment. Over to you, Aisha.
Thank you. On the segment, the embattled National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Olusemetu, was at the last adjourned date of February 5th, 2018, brought to court on a stretcher in compliance with the court's order that he must appear on the said day or risk being arrested. Justice Okon Agban of the Federal High Court Abuja had on January 25th, 2018, threatened to revoke the bail granted Metu for failure to attend court 3 times consecutively without reasonable excuse. Here are the details.
Metu's counsel, Onyechi Ikpeazu, at a January 23, 2018, told the court that Metu was on admission at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital in Nnewi for an undisclosed ailment. He tendered a medical report dated 22 January 2018 to support his claim. Sylvanus Tahir, counsel to the EFCC, what closed its case over a year ago, believed that Metu's continued absence in court was a ploy to delay trial and frustrate the cause of justice. Consequently, through an oral application, Tahir urged the court to revoke the bail it granted Metu and cause him to be reporting from the prison custody to attend his trial. Justice Okon Agban, in granting Tahir's prayer, held that the medical report relied on by Metu to stay away from court was fraudulently smuggled into the court's file and aimed at forcing the court to stay proceedings in the trial indefinitely. The judge wondered how a medical report purportedly issued in Nnewi in Anambra State could find its way to the court's file in Abuja within 24 hours. The judge, however, adjourned, but with a stern warning that the bail earlier granted to Metu will be revoked if he failed to appear in court at the next adjourned date to stand his trial. At the resumed sitting on February 5, 2018, Metu was brought to court on a stretcher. His counsel, Ikpeazu, pleaded with the court to give the defendant at least a month adjournment to enable him recover and continue with his trial. Justice Agban, in granting the request for the adjournment, said, and I quote, I am inclined to adjourn this matter to allow the first defendant recover and stand his trial. I have seen the condition that he is. End of quote. The case was thereafter adjourned to March 14th to 15th, 2018 for continuation of trial. It will be recalled that Metu was dragged before the court alongside his company, Destra Investment Limited, on a 7-count charge bordering on money laundering to the tune of 400 million naira. The money was allegedly collected from the office of the National Security Advisor to former President Goodluck Jonathan ahead of the 2015 general elections. The offence breaches Section 15, subsection 2D of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended in 2012 and is punishable under the same section.
Glad to know you're still there. Still talking about court matters, Justice Saliu Saidu of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, has ordered the final forfeiture of the sum of over £500,000 found by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC in the account of a company, Zal Marine Limited, to the federal government. Justice Saidu gave the order on February 5, 2018, following an application filed by the EFCC. The report.
The EFCC, through its lawyer, Rotimi Oyedepo, had told the court that it received intelligence report about a monumental fraud in the Nigerian Administration and Safety Agency (NIMASA), a development that necessitated an investigation. Oyedepo told the court that one Irene McFoy, an assistant director at NIMASA, had used her position to facilitate the fraudulent transfer of the sum of over £1 million from the account of NIMASA domiciled with the Nigerian New Generation Bank in the United Kingdom to an offshore account belonging to Swiss bulk carriers under the false pretenses of training 54 nautical science and marine engineering students sometimes in March 2013. It was further revealed that Zal Marine Limited, a front company to McFoy and an agent of the Swiss bulk carriers, fraudulently received and retained the money which was paid into another New Generation Bank account in July of the same year. The EFCC had filed an ex parte motion seeking the temporary forfeiture of the money on the grounds that it was reasonably suspected to be proceeds of an unlawful activity. In his ruling on the application for a temporary forfeiture, Justice Saidu had granted the applicant's prayers and ordered the respondents or any other person interested in the money to appear before the court to show cause why it should not be finally forfeited to the federal government. The court had also directed the applicant, which is the EFCC, to publish the order in a national newspaper for the respondent or anyone else to appear before the court to show cause why it should not be finally forfeited to the federal government before the next adjourned date. Delivering his ruling at the last adjourned date, Justice Saidu held that the applicant had proved beyond any doubt that the said money was proceeds of an unlawful activity, and he ordered that the money be forfeited to the federal government.
That's all from the court segment this week. It's back to you, Aisha, for the continuation of the program.
Thank you. Moving on, acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has urged Nigerians to join hands with the Commission in the ongoing fight against corruption, adding that it is the responsibility of everyone to make the country a better place to live in. He warned corrupt people to be wary of the long arm of justice, saying that corruption will be fought like never before this year. More details to come in the next report.
Speaking to newsmen after the commissioning of Special and Sexual Offences Court held at the Roslyn Omotosho Courthouse, Ikeja, Lagos, Magu commended the Lagos State Judiciary for setting the pace in the establishment of the special courts to try corruption and financial crimes cases, describing it as a very courageous move by the state government. The anti-graft czar, who expresses satisfaction with the establishment of the courts, added that it was imperative for other states of the Federation to toe the same line as directed by the Chief Justice of the Federation, Honorable Justice Walter Onogen. He also charged journalists to embrace the anti-graft war, adding that they are all stakeholders in the crusade.
I want to call on other judges
also support the Chief Justice and also Chief Justice of the Federation, CJN, and call for the other Chief Justice of all the states of the Federation to follow suit to ensure they also establish a similar court, so that we are going to fight corruption like it has never been fought before.
The Chief Judge of Lagos State, Honorable Justice Okweyemi O. Oke, stated that the special courts will fast-track the trial of corruption and economic and financial crimes cases. In her welcome address, Oke, who also expressed gratitude at the turnout of invited guests, said the state believes strongly that the special courts shall fast-track the trial of economic and financial crimes cases and encourage the EFCC and other relevant bodies like ICPC to expedite the investigation and prosecution of such cases. Tracing the events leading to the setting up of the courts, Oke stated that the journey started in June 2017 in the speech marking the second anniversary of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, when the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, announced the plan of the federal government to designate specific courts to handle corruption cases. She went further that the bulk of over 500 cases of financial crimes pending before the High Court had now been assigned to the Special Offences Courts.
The Sexual Offences Court is the first of its kind in the nation. I'm overwhelmed and honored by the large turnout and interest in this special epoch-making event, an event that to my mind shall have significant effect on the delay in the termination of corruption and financial crime and sexual offences in Lagos State. The journey started in June 2017 in the speech marking the second anniversary of President Muhammadu Buhari administration, when His Excellency, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo, announced plans of the federal government to designate specific courts to handle corruption cases. He said that the courts will be part of a general judicial reform to make the judiciary more efficient and to facilitate the determination of corruption and financial crime cases.
In her remarks, wife of the Vice President of Nigeria, Mrs. Oludolapo Osinbajo, commended the Lagos State Judiciary for the bold step to set up the special courts. Osinbajo also enjoined everyone to be part of the anti-graft war and speak out against corrupt activities in the society.
It is commendable that giant strides are being made in clearly stiffer penalties and the commissioning of new courts, just so that our people can have access to speedy justice. The statistics quoted by Milady, the Honorable CJ of Lagos, on domestic violence and rape are indeed very frightening.
The Lagos State Governor, Akinwumi Ambode, stated that the creation of the special court would accelerate the dispensation of justice. Ambode, who was represented by his deputy, Dr. Idiyat Olurontin Adebule, added that the major challenge to the sustainable development of Nigeria is corruption, and it has affected the country's integrity in the foreign space.
Today in Lagos, we witness another milestone achievement in the advancement of our criminal justice system, the designation of specialized courts to handle corruption, economic crimes, and sexual offenses in the state is one that is timely and will accelerate the dispensation of justice.
One of the highlights of the event was the presentation of plaques to some personalities, including the wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Idiyat Olurontin Adebule, and wife of Lagos State Governor, Mrs. Bolale Ambode. The cutting of the tape for the commissioning of the special courts was performed by the Lagos State Deputy Governor, Dr. Idiyat Olurontin Adebule.
There has been a call about the need to build strong regional and national institutions to effectively fight corruption by adequately empowering the institutions and insulating them from undue political interference. This call was made at the joint press briefing on the outcome of the 30th African Union Summit held at Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Here's the detail.
The briefing had in attendance the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, the Minister of State Aviation, Hadi Sirika, Director General and Chief Negotiator, Nigerian Office for Trade Negotiations, Ambassador Chiedu Osakwe, who were all parts of the presidential delegation to the summit. At the briefing, Ibrahim Magu stressed that Africa must also enhance institutional collaboration between law enforcement and anti-corruption agencies, as well as strengthen the existing criminal justice system through exchange of information in line with international best practices. Magu, while stressing the need for unity in fighting corruption across the African continent, noted that from experience, the fight against corruption is not an easy task.
As noted in the champion's speech during the launching of the team, there is a need for Africa to build strong regional and national institutions to effectively fight corruption by adequately empowering national anti-corruption institutions and insulating them from undue political interference. Africa must also enhance institutional collaboration between law enforcement and anti-corruption agencies, as well as strengthening the existing criminal justice system through exchange of information and sharing of best practices.
The anti-graft czar expressed his willingness to partner with national authorities, regional bodies, development partners, civil organizations, non-governmental organizations, and ultimately all the people of Africa to effectively fight corruption and impunity within the continent. The EFCC boss added that efforts geared towards the fight against corruption would enhance the realization of the Agenda 2063 on Africa's transformation and sustainable development. Prior to the endorsement of President Muhammadu Buhari as African Union's anti-corruption champion in recognition of his administration's enviable track record in fighting corruption in Nigeria, the African Union of Heads of State had declared 2018 as the African Year of Anti-Corruption with the historic theme, Winning the Fight Against Corruption, a Sustainable Path to Africa's Transformation. In another development, Dr. Joe Oke Odumakin, Chairman Steering Committee of the Movement Against Corruption and President Women Arise for Change, has urged Nigerians to join the EFCC in winning the war against corruption in the country. Odumakin, who was speaking during a courtesy visit to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC's head office in Abuja, expressed concern over the impact of corruption in Nigeria, noting that Nigeria is bleeding under the heavy weight of corruption. She called on Nigerians to take the fight against corruption as a duty, saying there is the need for Nigerians to own the fight against corruption because it is not only for Magu and EFCC, but for the citizens to win.
Nigeria, like we can rightly observe, is bleeding under the heavy weight of corruption. And power does not corrupt people, it's people that corrupt power. There's also a need for Nigerians, like we have always said, to own the fight against corruption, because it's not only for Magu and the great thing, but for our citizens.
Odumakin attributed the successes of the EFCC to the political will of the government, noting that Nigerians too can attest to this, going by what happened recently in Addis Ababa, where President Buhari was honored as the Africa's anti-corruption champion by the African Union. While urging the Senate to join the wagon of change by confirming Magu as the substantive chairman of the EFCC, Odumakin appealed to the Senate as true representatives of the people not to stand against the moving train. The acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, on his part, called on Nigerians to eschew all manners of corruption as it remains the bane of the country. Magu urged the group to take upon itself the zeal to fight corruption, stressing that it is a duty that must be done.
I remain unrelenting in the face of all manners of adversity. I will not stop this. And that's why I want to call on everybody, like you said. Everybody, every Nigerian has a responsibility in the fight against corruption. Everybody.
Oke Odumakin was accompanied on the visit by Sadiq Daba, veteran actor and ambassador of the movement against corruption.
I first came and I met you, I was taken aback. Taken aback in the sense that the way you were painted is as if you are coming to see a dragon, you are coming to see a devil. Not knowing that you are coming to see a very pleasant man who has a focus, who has a duty, who has a purpose, who has a faith in his country and his...
Highlights of the event was the presentation of the Movement Against Corruption 2018 calendars to Magu and the rendition of the Kill Corruption slogan.
Against corruption, keep corruption now. Keep corruption now. Movement against corruption. Movement against corruption, keep corruption now.
That is all we have for you this week on the program, The Eagle. Don't forget to make it a date with us next week at this time and on same station to catch up with updates of activities within and outside the EFCC. Please like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter @official EFCC. And to watch our programs and other activities, log on to youtube.com/official EFCC. You can also send your comments and contributions to us via WhatsApp platform on 0808 799 9973. I remain yours sincerely, Aisha Gambari, saying thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
And from me, I say, be part of the change you desire in this country. Be a patriotic Nigerian. Say no to corruption. I am Aisha Muhammad. God bless Nigeria.